Welcome to our group presentation. To begin with, I will introduce our team, starting from the left, Dion, Tan, Claudia and Callum. The purpose of this presentation is to analyse the similarities and differences between cultures and how they perceive happiness and well-being. When defining happiness, it is said to be a sense of joy and contentness within oneself. Well-being is defined as the state of being healthy, comfortable and happy. Although happiness and well-being closely link, it is important to remember that these are both not universal concepts and are more constructed around different cultural beliefs and values.
Al and Simon are both two different people from two different cultures, both American and Chinese. The way happiness is perceived across cultures is completely different. We can see from the USA perspective that the values are intrinsic, independent, and there's more societal pressure. He derives his happiness through the boat, the batch, and the BMW. The way the Chinese perceive happiness is actually completely different to those of the USA. Their values are extrinsic. The Chinese character Xing Fu, meaning long-term happiness and family orientation, is key in a collectivist society. They focus more on sitting down over dinner and celebrating as a family as opposed to the more independent USA. Happiness is actually achieved across cultures in a completely different manner. Let's say Simon and Lau were both promoted from their jobs. How would they celebrate this? Simon might go out with his work colleagues and party and drink and have a good time. However, in a Chinese society, Lau would actually prefer going home from work, spending time with the family, sitting down around the dinner table, and just spending time with them, as he would derive happiness through this. Well-being is about purpose, social, financial, community, and physical. So how does this differ from the USA to China? With a population of almost 1.4 billion, China has a large focus on study. Many youth spend countless hours studying to get into limited university spots, and this causes huge stress. However, in China, health is a priority. They eat very well, and they perform very well on the life expectancy and overall well-being. The USA has one of the biggest rich to poor gaps of any high-income nation. This gap continues to grow. However, the USA is a very indulgent country and enjoys the finer things, finding a good work-to-leisure balance.
This is the story of Bob and John, who are living together. John is an international student who is focusing in finishing his degree, and this reflects his long-term orientation, and he's expecting his happiness by getting a good degree, find a good job so that he can belong to a group of friends. However, for maintaining well-being, he prefers to stay healthy, have a good family and home, and spend time for leisure and mental relaxation. Overworking, afraid of the low performance, or hard to say no affect negatively to his attitude and behavior. For instance, in this situation, even he has a deadline tomorrow, he's still saying yes, even though that affects his feeling significantly. And here we are at Bob's party. You can see amazing music with the diverse carnival outfit. This is the way that Bob saw his self-conception and his explicit characteristic. His happiness is shaped by short-term orientation, high indulgences, and a collectivism perspective. For well-being, you want to prefer the self-conception by keeping fit, do the team sport, and partying with friends is also a way to express his appearance. However, for unhappiness, inequality, poverty, inappropriate political view, and lack of education are expressed by his opinion because this topic can affect his well-being, his lifestyle, and his self-conceptions. Moreover, they can affect his society.
Meet Paul and Johnny. Both individuals are successful businessmen going on planned holidays. Here, Paul is sitting at the airport waiting for his plane. As you can see, he is concentrating very hard on work, which shows his individualistic nature. Germans are very individualistic, as working and making money is what makes them happy. In contrast, Johnny is taking his family away on holiday rather than going by himself. This shows the Fijians' collectivist approach to happiness, as being surrounded by family is what Fijians value and that is what makes them truly happy. In this scene, Paul's plane happens to be delayed, which makes him very angry. This is because the German culture are time synchronous and they truly value time. So being able to make things on time is what makes them happy. In comparison, when Johnny's plane is delayed, he doesn't really mind. In contrast to the German culture, Fijians are time sequential. Fijians can be said to live on island time and are perceived as very laid-back and relaxed people, so a plane delay does not faze Johnny and his family as they are happy either way. When arriving at their destination, Paul can be seen on his phone still working, as time is money, and again, being able to buy things of high quality makes Germans happy. When Johnny and his family arrive at the same destination, he can be seen relaxing and taking a break from work as he is enjoying the company of his family surrounding him and the sun.
Well-being in Germany is shown through health, education, and stable working environments. A strong healthcare system is in place that is accessible to everyone, with short waiting times. Quality education is vital for Germans, providing the foundations needed for a knowledge-based society. There is equal access for everyone, providing well-equipped schools and content are believed to be the foundations of well-being. However, the education system can be contested. Good working conditions provide financial stability, which is necessary for a good quality of life and the involvement in society. Job satisfaction and success are highly commended. However, working conditions are also contested, with issues around fair pay, job security, and regular hours. Safety and security for people is important, to be able to walk around the neighbourhood at any time without fear. With equipped police and the effective justice system, providing people with security and the feeling of being safe. With safety comes a sense of community, where family and friends rely on each other. In Fiji, the number one well-being priority is the focus on disaster risk reduction and management, providing technical assistance, training, and supplies to the National Disaster Management Office. The low economically developed country values healthcare and education. However, they do not have the finances to provide a quality system. With new outside funding, the education system is developing in Fiji, with vocational skills and development towards scholarships and tertiary education being provided. The healthcare sector is also improving, with a $25 million injection from Australia to improve the healthcare which Fijians value. Happiness and well-being are social constructs that are specific to individual cultures and countries. Although we do see some crossover, each country does show different values towards happiness and well-being. Frey 2008 describes happiness and well-being as how human beings value goods and services and social conditions. We have seen this with the example between Yang and Simon. What is learned is that happiness has many meanings, and what one culture perceives as happy may not correspond across cultures. Well-being is also the same, with aspects being more important than others. By applying the frameworks from Hofstede and Schwartz, an analysis of different characters was possible, where we portray them in everyday situations. Our 5 how-to recommendations are as followed. Proper integration into cultures for expatriates. This could be done by displacing people into the houses of colleagues of that particular culture. This would be implemented before the assignment, allowing for the potential expat to learn and understand the culture. It is important for managers not to merge business life with personal life. Too often managers prioritise all business life, and it has an effect on personal family. To combat this, alternatives such as getaways or bonuses to the employee to go off the grid could ensure the balance of the situation, boosting employee morale and productivity. In a multicultural corporate environment, focusing on well-being of the employees could be considered. Functions such as weekly yoga classes or workshops to ensure the social integration of both cultures within the firm, addressing both personal and well-being issues. To ensure the transparency of employee knowledge, events such as dinner parties and going out for drinks could be implemented. This will allow trust and friendships to grow and greater connections between employees. Local policymakers can combat climate change and sustainability by creating community-run communal gardens or compost sites that allows for the increased social inclusion of community members.